USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you say in court that you'd paid it when you hadn't?
Yes.
So we know you're willing to lie to a judge to win your case. Kind of a bad thing.
These are the plaintiffs, Melissa Eggleston and Nakina Marshall. Melissa says the defendant, her landlord, stole her precious belongings, had her evicted for no good reason, and violated her privacy to boot. She's not the type to go away quietly, is here today to fight for her rights, and is suing the unscrupulous woman for the $3,000 she's owed. This is the defendant, Wendy Reinhardt. She says the plaintiffs moved out of the apartment they rented because the utilities were shut off, including the gas and heat, for non-payment. The plaintiffs are crazy, and she has no idea what stuff they're talking about. And she's pretty confident the judge is going to see things her way today in court. She's accused of taking from a tenant. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,318.53 for past due rent and utilities.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn in.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Melissa Eggleston?
Yes.
And Nakina Marshall?
Correct.
All right, you're suing Wendy Reinhardt
Yes.
for $3,000. According to you, you're out more than that, but that's the statutory maximum in your state. Because according to you, there was a theft of your apartment as a result of her allowing the gas company in. And you lost numerous items. Tell me what's going on.
I was renting a house from Wendy Reinhardt for about a year. I was on Section 8.
You were receiving government assistance to pay your rent.
Yes.
How much was the rent?
The rent was $8.50.
And how much what was your portion?
My portion was $2 at that time.
$2. Mm-hmm. Okay. And did you pay the $2?
Yes.
Okay. So you were living there for how long before problems arose?
I was just fed up with everything. As far as the inspection, one minute she wanted me to stay, then she wanted me to leave. So I just told her I was going to leave. And
when did you tell her you were going to leave?
That was like in January.
Okay. That you were going to leave by when?
We made an agreement that it was going to be by the end of February.
Okay.
So she was okay with that. Then she told me that I had to pay for January and February's rent. But I never once
that you had to pay what?
$156.
Because according to her, Section 8 has decided that you got to pony up something.
Right.
And it's in fact accurate that your portion starting January 1st was going to be $156. Yes or no?
And then also at the top.
Is it yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So did you pay the $156 for January or February?
Not for January. Not for February, but on there it says from CMHA that they were going to pay Wendy $154 for January.
Where does it say that?
At the top on the second page.
Right.
So
Did they pay you the $156 from or $154 from?
They paid it, but then they took it back.
They paid January? And then they took it back?
Yes.
Why did they take it back?
Because she's been evicted and wasn't living there.
So according to you, the housing authority put $154 into your account, took $154 out. Nobody's paid you that $154. for January or February?
Or
Did they pay
November
about
or
how about the
December.
rest of it, the 800 and whatever? Did they pay the rest of it?
One time they paid the 7, whatever it was.
7 something for which month?
And they did leave that, January.
But they didn't pay it for February.
Right.
She was,
Because
hold on, you evicted her?
In February, we started an eviction process because at first she went into HUD and said, I want to stay. And I said, Melissa, are you really going to pay? Do you really want to stay? Because I'd just rather have you move out if you can't afford things and stop all this. The water bill was almost $500. She wasn't paying it. And then
How did you find out she wasn't paying the water bill?
Because I called. When we went to court, we go in on the 13th and she said she paid it. And I knew she didn't pay it, but I didn't think she would lie under oath. I knew she didn't pay it. So I went back to work and they faxed me, and I have that. And I think you have that because I sent all these
Showing that
things.
she had not paid it.
Right.
Why hadn't you paid the water bill?
I have my receipts right here.
When did you pay the water bill, sweetie?
February 19th.
And we were in court on the 13th, and
Right.
she swore
So
that she
did you
paid
say
it.
in court that you'd paid it when you hadn't?
Yes.
So we know you're willing to lie to a judge to win your case. Kind of a bad thing.
Yeah.
So what happened here? You're suing for a bunch of property that you say got stolen. Tell me about it.
Yes. My gas and my water, I turned them off. I got that stuff cut off. I moved in with my mom, but she knew that my stuff was at the house because she said, okay, you can have to the end of February to move out. Cool. And I'm periodically checking on my house. So one day I went, it was February 19th, and I go in the house and I have a bi-level. So I'll go upstairs, and to my left, it's the front room, and I walk by and I'm like, my TV is missing. I have a 50-inch TV. You can't really miss a 50-inch TV. So I'm walking through the house to make sure everything else, and there was no forced entry when I got to the house. I go in my bedroom, so I look in there, and there's 2 shelves, 2 racks with clothes, top and bottom. The top rack in the back was completely wiped out. All of my clothes is gone. I noticed that on my bed, I had a crate, a small clear tote full of cosmetic jewelry. That was gone.
Costume jewelry?
Yeah, costume jewelry.
Go ahead.
I started checking around. I go to my kitchen, and in my kitchen, there was this. Oops, sorry. There was this on my table. I never called Columbia Gas to let them know that I wanted my gas cut back on. So no one has a key to my house. My mom doesn't have a key. My sister doesn't have a key. So obviously,
Who let the gas company in?
My realtor. There's a lockbox on the house, and I called him and I said, and I told Melissa when I finally caught her, and she told me she moved out. And I said, Melissa, if the utilities were shut off and she didn't have them shut off,
Who shut off the gas?
the gas company, because when you don't pay your bills, you get it shut off.
Oh,
eventually.
so she didn't
The
call
water
to
was
shut it off because she was saving money. It
Right.
got shut off on her.
Right.
All right, and then who authorized it? I guess the gas company?
So I, being the homeowner, just like I'm responsible for the water bill that's unpaid and still unpaid, I called to say, can I get it turned back on? She's not there. Her things are there. We're going through the eviction process. They said, yes, you can get it turned back on. I left 3 messages. Again, I left a note on the door.
Do you have phone records?
No.
Okay, go on.
And I left a note on the door, and I had told her, Melissa, my pipes will freeze.
Right.
And she said, oh.
Okay.
And so, okay, she doesn't care. And the screens were all cut up the day I went back when she was supposed to be moving out, just slit. And that's, you have pictures, or I have more pictures.
Let me see the pictures. What is this a picture of? It's hard to...
That's a big screen from the back door. that
Okay,
was
this is
ripped
a
off and
screen
cut.
that obviously has a slit right through it. 2 slits in a cross form. This is a different screen.
Yeah, it was screens for the whole
Or
house.
is it the same screen?
No, it's different screens
Yeah.
for throughout the house.
All the screens got sliced?
Yes.
What do you say happened? You say somebody stole your what? Your 50-inch flat screen TV.
Yep.
Your $700, according to you, $700 worth of clothes and coats.
Yep.
$700 worth of costume jewelry.
Yep.
$300 worth of 30 fragrances and lotions.
Yep.
$250 of Xbox. $230 for an iPod.
Yep.
$150 for a Wii and controllers, and $200 worth of DVDs.
Yes.
Okay? You say that the gas man stole all that?
Yes.
How are you going to prove that all this stuff was stolen by the gas man?
Okay. I have my receipt.
When in fact what's going on is an eviction process that you're angry about, that you're fighting, that you're losing, and then I see criminal mischief in the screens.
I'm not mad about being evicted.
Who cut the screens? Who cut all these screens with a knife?
Who did
that? You did.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, this is sad. I don't even feel like I want to waste your time with fighting. I have all the proof of the utilities being shut off, of the affidavits from a realtor.
Hand it over.
And
Her house is in
I told her I was a single mother too. I had cancer.
What ended up happening? Well, you showed me pictures of the car. What ended up happening?
Her friend, Nakina, came chasing me down the road.
When? Wait, back it up.
Okay, the day she was supposed to be moving out, that weekend, I went with my daughter-in-law-to-be and my grandson, who's a 1-year-old baby, pulled in the car. When we saw that the screens were all cut.
Why would you bring the baby?
Because I was shopping. I took her shopping. I just went to see my house.
You didn't smell that they would be trouble?
I didn't think that somebody was going to be chasing me down the road with hammers. No, I did not.
Yeah.
Never would have dreamed that. And so she came up and shoved me by the doorway.
Which one?
Nakina.
Had you known Nakina beforehand?
No.
She shoves you and says what?
She shoved me and they said, you don't need to be here. You don't need to be here. We'll be out by noon tomorrow. I said, I'm coming to check my property. And I said, what is this? With the slit up screens. And then she shoved me and I thought, oh my God, I can't believe this. I said, Janelle, get in the car with the baby. I was going to pull my car down the road. I said, call the police. She said, go ahead, call the police. She said, I ain't paying for nothing, just like I don't pay the bills here. And I tried to help her being a single mom. I've told her several times, I was a single mom and had cancer. I had 3 kids. I worked 5 jobs and I paid my bills. And this is sickening to me. But to finish that, Nakina ran down the road when I pulled my car out of the driveway and pulled down to wait for the police to come so I could protect my house that I work for. And she comes running down the street with 2 hammers, waving them at me, tried to jerk the car door open where her and my grandson were in. I don't know what she was going to do to them, and then starts beating on my car.
What happened?
I'm like, what are you doing in the house? Yes, I yelled at her.
Who are you to her?
I'm her sister, and I've been there for her since the beginning of this whole housing situation. She comes flying out the house with those screens in her hand. Look what you low-life blah, blah, blahs did to my screens. Yes, the
What
screens.
are blah, blah, blahs? She used that word.
She used that word.
Did you say, look at what you low-life words?
Wait a minute.
My son-in-law is black. I have grandchildren that are black.
I'm sorry, stop.
I love them to pieces.
What?
No, I did not.
Repeat that.
My son-in-law is black, and I have grandchildren that are half black and white.
So she's just saying that to make their case better? To anger me?
I don't know why they lie. I don't know. I can't understand it.
All right,
just
go
like
on.
the water bill, and then come to court and prove you lie.
We're not talking about the water bill anymore. Judge Millian.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So the question, do people who are on Section 8 tend to abuse an apartment more than someone who pays rent? What do you think?
I think yes.
Why?
Because they can.
Huh?
Because they can. And it's kind of like human nature to take what you're given. And
it's not like they're paying full rent, right? Slow.
So, but why does that, what?
I think the stereotype is they do, but honestly, if they get kicked out, they have nowhere else to go. They're going to go homeless.
So they may have more of an incentive to take care of the unit.
Exactly.
Interesting point. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay? There are 2 things that get me really angry. One is someone inappropriately playing the race card. And the other is someone inappropriately taking funds that are meant for someone who needs them when they don't need them. I have both these things potentially happening right now. And I have to tell you, I'm kind of pissed. Because I'm having difficulty with the concept that $3,000 worth of goodies are in your house when you're receiving government assistance just to make ends meet. And you're not even paying any rent. I don't mind helping somebody who really needs it, but I'm kind of minding helping you. And you're the same person who looks me right in the eyeballs and tells me, yeah, I lied to the judge in the eviction case. Yeah, I did.
I understand that, but at the same time, this
Do you
is
know
stuff
that there is a warrant? Is there a warrant out for both of their arrests or just for hers?
There is a criminal complaint filed.
Is it against both of them or against one of them?
Both.
Who threw the screens? Both of them?
No,
I know Nakina threw them. She threw them right at my car. When I was walking away to the car, they were bouncing off my car.
And you have a picture of the dent where? Show me the picture of the dent. Is it here?
Yeah. It's just a black trunk. The car is black, and it has little dents from the hammers.
The hammer. When did she take a hammer to
When
your
she
car?
ran down the road after me
Who
with
is
hammers.
she? Just Nakina or both of them?
Nakina. But when she started throwing the screens and after
What
she
do you
shoved
expect me to do, Melissa, with like cut screens and the criminal mischief and your admission that you lie to a judge? What do you expect me to do with all this? I rule in favor. Well, let's first start. We have two cases here. We have your case against her where you're suing her for $3,000 worth of items that you say were stolen, that you have absolutely no proof were stolen, and I rule in favor of the defendant in that case. The fact that you bought something doesn't mean that it proves it was stolen.
Your Honor.
No. Ms. Eggleston, on your lawsuit against your landlord, Ms. Reinhart, I find in favor of Ms. Reinhart. On Ms. Reinhart's lawsuit against you for rent, late fees, gas charges, and water charges, and the screens that you have admitted to damaging out of spite, I rule in favor of Ms. Reinhart. That amount is $961.30. And on the damage to her car that she has pictures of, and there's apparently a criminal complaint out against both of you that you both should better address, I find against both of you in the amount of that $408.30 in damages, which means a net judgment in favor of the defendant in this case in the amount of $1,458.53.
I bet you don't get it. Thank you. You won't get that either. Praise God. Unbelievable.
So the ruling goes for the defendant here. So come on out here, the plaintiff. What's your first reaction to what's gone down in here?
It's all right. I'm done with it.
It's just all right?
Mm-hmm.
We gave the judge a lot to go on. There's a lot that you admitted to, you know, which gives the judge a lot to go on in ruling against you. You know, how are you going to clean all that up?
I'll take care of it.
You will?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. So step on in here. What's your feeling on this?
I thank God. I thank God that, you know, justice was done properly, I feel, and I'm sorry for people that do take advantage of the system. So
How disgusted are you with renting in general?
I'm done. The house is for
Really?
sale.
What about helping people like you talked about?
I'll help them in other ways. I'm planning a mission trip this summer.
Mission trip. All right, Harvey.
You know, the plaintiff is lucky that the judge didn't award punitive damages. You can get punitive damages for fraud, oppression, and malice, and clearly ruining the screen was malicious. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
This is the plaintiff, Joseph Barano. He says the defendant, a jeweler and friend of his for 30 years, took his 3 gold chains, an Italian horn, and a gold hunchback, and was supposed to melt them down and make him a ring. Turns out the building his store is located in was knocked down. He disappeared, and he still doesn't have his ring. Well, today is Judgment Day because he's suing for $2,000, and he can't wait for the judge to give it to the defendant. But good. This is the defendant, Anthony Cristello. He says he made a ring for the plaintiff with half the gold he gave him and also gave him $300 in cash for the half he didn't use. The plaintiff came back a few months later saying he wasn't really happy with the ring, so he remelted it and remade it. When he still didn't like the thing, he knew there was no way he was going to make him happy, so he gave him another $300 in cash. Now the guy's suing him all this time later? Police. He's accused of bad smelting.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant was supposed to melt down 3 gold chains, an Italian horn, and a gold hunchback, and all the stuff is now gone. But the defendant says he's more than satisfied the guy. It's the case of the hunchback of People's Court.
Thank you, Douglas. Joseph Buruano?
Yes,
you are suing Anthony Cristello?
Yes.
Okay, for $2,000, the value of some jewelry that you gave him to make into a ring that you never got. Tell me what's going on.
Okay. Well, going back 5 years ago, it was I was approaching my 62nd birthday, actually, and I had several pieces of jewelry from family members who have become deceased. My sister, God rest her soul, my father, my grandmother, all this jewelry I couldn't wear unless I was going to Mardi Gras. But anyway,
Was it their jewelry you mean, or gifts?
The gifts from them to me.
Okay.
So I decided to have it all consolidated.
Melted into
one solid ring. And I wanted specifically, I said a dome-shaped ring. And what I did was I got all together. I called Tony.
Now, how did you know Tony?
I met Tony about 35 years ago.
Oh, okay.
When I was much younger. And
okay. Did you know him socially or
socially? Yes, I was introduced to him socially at first, and then he became my jeweler.
Okay.
And he did some great work for me, and so I thought he'd be the person to do this for me. I could trust him.
This was how long ago?
In about 2008.
Okay.
Anyway, I asked him to do that, and several months went by. And it was a gentleman's agreement, as it always had been before. We never signed contracts or anything. So with this whole deal, several months go by, and nothing. My birthday comes and passes. Almost the next year comes.
Wait, what happened? You forgot about it?
Not that I forgot about it. I was just curious, but there's so much going on.
I know, but it's your ring and your business. Like when he's not providing you with the ring that you gave him the gold for, why aren't you calling him up and saying what's the deal?
I did call. I called, what's going on. Well, there's some kind of problem. It's being worked on, and you have to have a form or whatever to. Okay, fine. So I accepted.
So how much time passes before he produces a ring that you're not happy with?
About almost three years.
Years?
Years, yeah.
What? Everyone's so patient.
I have great patience. With the big family, you have to,
I don't have that kind of patience. That would be, let me tell you what that would be evidence of, that I forgot. It wouldn't be evidence that I'm patient. It would be evidence that.
No, I didn't forget.
Okay, so in any event, so 3 years later, he brings you a ring, and what happened?
He brings me a nugget ring that's like hammered out, which is nothing that I had asked for. And he told me that the gold was melted down. And I know for a fact that was not my gold melted down, because that is typical of what you'd find in a jeweler's catalog.
Always.
A hammered gold watch, ring, always,
Right.
And I have all this.
So you told him that's not my gold.
That's not mine. That's not mine. That's not it.
So right now at this stage, you've given him a bunch of gold. How much gold?
I would say I asked him at one point about how much gold was there, and he said it was about 26 pennyweight. And this is what I have here. Are all the pieces.
Right, so 26 pennyweight, and it was in 2008?
In 2008.
Okay, and so now it's 2011. He hands you the hammered ring. You say, I don't really think that's my special gold.
Right.
Okay, and now what?
And the joke was that every time they would come, she's giving me this story. His wife, Lena, is telling me, well, one of the gold at that time, it wasn't worth what it's worth now. And I'm telling you exactly. If I had it in my possession, it would be worth. It's like $1,700 an ounce now. It would be worth what it was worth. Anyway, but this is an approximation of this is the jewelry that I gave him, a simulation of all the pieces that I gave him.
Because you don't have any receipts or paperwork about that.
Yeah, no, because it was a gentleman's agreement.
Okay, so but when he gave you the ring that you didn't want, and you said, I don't want that ring, was the agreement that he was going to get you a different ring, or at that point you just wanted the money?
I thought he would go back to his shop and work on that. And what happens is
work on what? Making a different ring with gold?
Making the ring with the gold that he told me he didn't have, but I'm sure he had.
Wait, but how is it? What do you think, that your gold was in a locker? Like they smelt the stuff and it's done. It's all melted together.
But he had to compensate me somehow.
Right.
And
so what was the plan at that point?
He offered me $300. I didn't.
Had he ever paid you any other money besides those $300?
No. No.
So the only amount of money you ever saw was $300?
It was $300 in total, and that came later on. That was the next visit.
Okay.
But I'm still very, very disappointed because I feel bad that he was a dear friend. And to pull that on me, I even have pieces of work I brought that he did, that gave me great faith in him for what he had done and how he had done it.
Okay, let's see those while you're pulling those out.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
All right, what happened here?
Well, some of the story he said is true. Some of them is exaggerated. And the fact remains that he did give me some of his scrap jewelry. So I had it melted and refined into 14 karat. And then it was given to the caster to make the ring. He had about 42 pennyweights of gold.
How much of that was his and how much of that was yours?
Oh, no, that was his. Only his gold was used to melt and refine. So then you made
a ring and he didn't like. Why did it take 3 years to make the ring?
Well, it didn't take that long. It was, as a matter of fact, I have a letter from Mr. Burana dated July 12, 2010. And he says on this letter, I know it wasn't that much 5 years ago. So that brought it down to 2005. This is in his handwriting.
This is the letter Mr. Burano mailed to me, postmarked July 2010. He wrote on the advertisement, I know it wasn't this much 5 years ago. Why did you write there, I know it wasn't this much 5 years ago, if it was in 2005?
Because I knew that the price of gold was escalating, and I was just referring to a time going back when
but you didn't say, I know it wasn't this much. Stop. Stop. You didn't say, I know it wasn't this much 2 years ago. Right. You said, I know it wasn't this much 5 years ago. This is kind of critical because if it's 5 years ago, if it really is 2005, you're out of gas because you waited too long to bring the lawsuit. So that's kind of critical. So why would you write in 2010 in your letter, I know it wasn't this much 5 years ago? Why would you do that?
Because I said, when the times I met with her, when she kept telling me that it wasn't worth anything such and such a date going back.
If it's not true, they're saying this happened in 2005, not 2008.
Right.
That, of course, is. Why did you wait so long to bring a lawsuit, period?
Because now, at this time, when I've been meeting them at the supermarket, and I'd run after them, and she'd be telling me, like, but what do you want from us? What do you want from us? I said, well, some kind of compensation.
Chasing them down in the supermarket aisles? They're running away from you?
I'd meet them in the supermarket, and they'd be running.
You can run away in the supermarket and you're doing something right at 85. Yeah. That's all I can say. Come on up, ma'am.
So is gold more valuable when you melt it down? What do you think?
I think it depends. If there's a sentimental value and you have it as an item, then it would be more valuable. But
I'm not talking sentimental. I'm saying just market value. Is gold more valuable when you melt it?
I don't think so. It decreases the value of it because it decreases what it originally was in the beginning.
So it's a blob rather than a thing.
Basically.
You're like not.
I agree because I've done it before. Yeah. I melted down gold that I didn't wear anymore, and I only did it just to get whatever I could out of it. But I got a lot less than what I paid for it.
Interesting. Going inside the courtroom.
And what was it you were arguing with him about?
Yeah, that the gold was $1,200 an ounce when I had the price of the London price fix of gold, and at that time was $440 an ounce.
But you admit that you were supposed to make a ring for him.
I did. I made the ring in 2005.
Who has the ring?
Well, nobody has it. It was melted down and sold for scrap gold.
Is that what he told you to do with it, or did he tell you to make a ring?
I gave up on it. I said, I can't really make the ring for you. Then I said, I will give you the difference of the gold, which was I gave him the $300.
How much money did you pay him totally?
I paid him $600 total.
Okay, does that sound familiar, like he paid you $600?
No.
Yeah, this is why we don't like lawsuits to come into fruition 10 years later, because nobody remembers anything.
No,
and there's no proof of
specifically,
anything.
he must be having dementia, because I definitely would not take the money from him the first time. The second time I did, which I shouldn't have, but I did.
Well, he took the money because the balance of the gold I didn't use. What was the value of the $300?
How am I supposed to figure out which of that is true?
What was I going to do?
And how am I supposed to figure out? You say he must be having dementia. What were you having when you wrote down this was 5 years ago?
Well, that's why.
You wrote it in 2010. You wrote this.
Yeah,
I know it wasn't this much 5 years ago.
Because every time I met with her or spoke with them on the phone, she would tell me how cheap the gold was going back.
Tell me about that. I just want to hear her say it.
Yeah, I just
tell me about that.
Well, tell him what Anthony told him that was the price of the gold.
Which was how much?
At the time we sold the gold, it was only $440 an ounce.
The problem that we have is that it's 2013, and if this happened in 2005, which is certainly what this would look like, then there's a statute of limitations that bars you from coming up 8 years later and trying to prove what happened 8 years ago when it's very hard for people to reconstruct it. You have a 6-year statute of limitations. And if you're lying to me because you figured out you have a 6-year statute of limitations, and that's why you're claiming it happened in 2008, when nothing that you have no proof it happened in 2008.
No, I have no proof of anything.
Not only that, there's proof that you say it happened in 2005. You're out of gas. My verdict in this case is for the defendants based on statute of limitations, which prevents you from bringing a lawsuit 6 years after the event, much less 8 years.
Well, once the statute of limitations comes into play,
that's what did it.
That makes all the evidence moot.
But it wasn't the fact that I wrote that date was because the woman kept telling me that gold was cheaper then. It wasn't that it happened then, and that was my mistake to state that in the letter. But I'm disappointed because I told the truth the whole way. But what can you do?
Well, what about this friendship? I mean, you have a statute of limitation that doesn't run out on that, and that friendship is hell?
Well, that's what really distressed me, the fact that...
How many years is this friendship?
35 years.
Okay, so... How is that affected by all this?
Well, I guess there's no more friendship. What can I tell you? You know, it's like that's it.
Statute of limitations has run out on that too.
Probably, yeah.
All right,
I mean, what can I say?
Okay, right down this way. Just head right down there. All right. So step on in here and tell me what you think about the outcome here.
Oh, it was what I expected. I told the truth and I did what I was supposed to do, and that was the outcome.
Yeah. Now that's your old buddy, right?
Yeah, it was a friend for so many years. I feel bad because of that, more than...
You going to do anything to try to...
I'm going to try to... We live close to each other. I'm going to try to be friends. I know his mother, his sister, the whole family, you know.
All right, good luck with that.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, Harvey.
Okay.
You know, the judge noted that the statute of limitations is 6 years. I should tell you, don't rely on that. It can vary significantly from state to state. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Got some good news for your ears. More of that good stuff is coming up. And even better news for your hair. The best hair care is at Sephora. They've got all kinds of products for every kind of hair. From brands like Amika, Kerastase, Day, and K18. You knew where to get great audio. Now, you know where to get great hair care too. Sephora. Good news for great hair. Shop hair care now at Sephora.com.
This is the plaintiff, Sal Santa Fe. He says he sold a car to the defendant who has yet to pay him in full, and he wants his money pronto. The woman knew the car had some issues and needed some repairs, but she chose to buy it anyway and is now turning around and using that as an excuse not to pay. Hey, lady, that's not how things work in this great country of ours. He's suing for $2,100, the balance due. This is the defendant, Nicole Fiore. She says the plaintiff told her the only things that needed repair on the car were the air conditioner and the heater. Well, the car needed new tires, new brakes, new rotors, and new windshield wipers, too. Then, when she went to have it inspected, they told her the frame was bent and it would never pass. The plaintiff unloaded a heap of junk on her, and she's not paying the crook another penny. She's accused of vexing a vehicle seller. The defendant filed a countersuit for $2,208.55 for tires, brakes, insurance, and registration.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff sold his car to the defendant, and she's stiffing him on the balance. But the defendant says the plaintiff lied about what was wrong with the car. The fact is, everything was wrong. It's the case of hunka burning junk.
Okay, Sal Santa Fe, you are suing Nicole Fiore for $2,100, a balance that you say she owes you on a car that you sold to her she was supposed to make payments on and didn't. You are counterclaiming against him $2,208.55 in all the money that you've had to put into the car that you say is a lemon. Okay, tell me what happened.
Well, back in May, 5 days, I think 4 days before I sold her the car, I was already
Did you two know each other before this or no?
No, I don't know her personally.
How did you meet her?
I met her through a friend of mine. His friend is her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
And they connected you two because you had a car to sell and she had a car to buy?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
And what kind of car were you selling?
It was a 93 Acura Integra.
Did you have two cars you were selling?
Right.
So you were are you a dealer?
No.
You just happened to have two cars for sale at the same time. One was the Acura and the other one was what?
Right.
What was the other one?
Oh, the Infiniti, 2001.
Okay. So she comes over to see the cars. Do you show her both?
She didn't see the car. She saw it on the day she was picking it up.
She bought a car sight unseen? What year Acura is this?
93.
She bought a 1993. It's as old as my marriage, and that's old. She bought a 20-year-old car sight unseen. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Why? Who does that?
My friend Mitch. I don't know anything about cars or anything like that.
Do you know anything about living? Like, who buys a 20-year-old car sight unseen?
My friend Mitch told me that the car was in great condition.
Oh, so you made him your agent to test the car out. And he said, I drove it, it's in great condition.
Yeah, he said that he drives it.
How close are you to Mitch?
It's my boyfriend's one of my good friends.
Okay, so then you buy it for how much?
Oh, it was originally supposed to be for $2,000, but when we went to sign the contract, he changed it and made it $2,200.
So why didn't you walk away?
Because I needed a car.
Why did you change it?
I didn't change it.
It was always $2,200?
Yes, I told my friend, and even my friend told her boyfriend that it was supposed to be for $2,200.
Okay.
Yes. And so when she told me about that, I was like, well, it was originally $2,200, and we're making payments, you know? It's not like straight cash.
Okay, and so what did you do? She gave you how much for you?
$100.
And you turned over the title to her?
No, I have the title.
Okay.
She just registered the car.
How was she able to register the car if you have the title?
That's how DMV did it. I don't know. You talk to them about that.
I don't know. Okay,
I was surprised too.
I would talk to them if I had that kind of time to be on hold, but I'm not gonna. All right, so now, okay. So how did you register the car?
He came with me to the DMV.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that little tidbit you neglected to mention. Okay, so that's how she registers the car. So you take the car and what happens?
Well, when I first saw the car, I noticed that I needed windshield wipers and tires, front tires.
By the way, do you guys sign anything during the sale?
Yes.
Okay, let me see what you sign. What I was looking for, and your copy also has, is that it says sold as is. What do you think that means?
How the car is. But I don't really deal with cars or anything like that, so this is my first time buying a car.
Okay, but what did you think? You have eyeballs and you read. So if you saw that, which is underlined not once but twice and in capital letters, bigger than everything else, why didn't you ask what do you mean by that if you don't know what it means?
Well, I thought it was because there was a crack in the windshield. I'm sorry, there was a crack in the windshield. It needed 2 new tires in the front because it was on a spare.
Okay,
and the other
so
one
you
was
understand that
pulled.
the phrase sold as is means that you can't complain about problems, but you thought it was limited to those problems that you and your vast experience could smell, not things that were hidden from you when you've told me 17 times you know nothing about cars. Why didn't you just have a mechanic take a look at it so you can make sure it was worth your $2,000?
Because I thought that my friend Mitch would
I'll tell you why, because all you were paying for the car was $100. And you needed wheels, you needed them now, and you wanted them now, so you were taking it. And then the day that was no longer convenient for you, you stopped paying, because that's exactly what ended up happening. How soon did you stop paying? Did you pay anything other than $100?
No, because I put in a lot of money into
Boy, I can pick them, right? I can spot it a mile away. All right, so you immediately stopped paying, and the reason you stopped paying?
We had an agreement. I told him I can't afford to fix the car and pay him as well.
Then why did you buy a 20-year-old car? Okay, and then, so you decide, you're supposed to be paying $100 every what?
Every week.
Every week? Oh my God, and so the very next week she doesn't pay you?
Well, the thing is, since she was telling me about that, I was trying to work with her. She was saying, oh, the car was shaking and everything, oh, the brakes and rotors. I already knew off the bat the brakes and rotors
Had you even suggested to her to buy the Infiniti?
Yes, I did. I told her the Infiniti didn't have any problems. It didn't have anything. I was like, the AC works, the heater works, you know, everything works in that car. and they still wanted to take the Infiniti. I mean, the Integra, I'm sorry.
But why?
Because it was manual, and her boyfriend likes to drive manual cars. That's
wow.
why.
Where's he now?
He's in jail.
Oh, he's not even by you here at your side while this is going. I guess we shouldn't buy a car based on what he wants. I guess we should buy the safer car for our children.
So she buys a 20-year-old car for $2,200. She doesn't see the car. Her boyfriend's friend looks at it. A scale of 1 to 10, 10 being incredibly stupid. Where do you rate her?
10.
Anybody else?
I agree.
10? Anybody want to? Anyone to bust the scale?
I would say 7, 8. I mean, she's 20 years old, super young. Of course, she's going to buy a really cheap car.
Give her a 10. Trust me. Going inside the courtroom.
What's he in jail for? Generally.
Assault.
On you?
No, never.
On who?
Someone who's putting me and my daughter in risk.
Okay, so she tells you that she can't pay you now, and you try to work with her?
I try to work with her. I told her, listen, don't take it to any other mechanic. I have somebody that can do it for you, because any mechanic shop will charge you like $80 an hour. I've tried to get the part online instead of getting it from the store because they'll charge you double the price, and she agreed to do that.
Who has the car?
She still has it.
And you're still driving it?
No.
She's still, I don't know, she's still driving it, but I don't have it. She did not return it to me.
But how do you keep the car and never pay another penny and think this isn't going to end up in court?
No, I knew it was going to end up in court.
Oh.
I knew that. I have pictures to show you that the frame and evidence to show you that the frame is completely writing. And I have even documented that
the frame is off. I'm going to assume that's true.
It's completely damaged.
I'm going to assume that's true. Let me ask you a question.
And he should have known that.
What do you think as is means? What do you think as is means?
I thought it was like the tires and the windshield wipers and the windows.
Really? Where'd you get that? Where'd you read that little gem? That it only means what you want it to mean?
No, because I kept asking him what was wrong with the car, what was wrong with the car, what was wrong with the car. He said
Ms. Fiore, when you sign an agreement that says you're taking your chances because you're so happy to have the car on your side of the fence, and you sign an agreement that says you agree to pay $2,200 and you pay $100 and in 7 days you're supposed to start paying the rest of it, and you don't, and you keep it, and you drive it. Show me that paperwork. Show me that paperwork that you want to show me so I can see when you're driving. Show me. Hold it.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
And here.
This transaction took place when? On May 20th.
Yep.
And I've got you taking it to the dealership on August 22nd?
That was just to get it documented.
On August 22nd, you drive it to the dealership?
No, I didn't drive it. We got it towed.
Really? It doesn't say it was towed?
My dad towed the car.
Show me the tow receipt.
My dad towed the car.
Show me the tow receipt. You liar. You drove it over there. This doesn't say the car was towed in. It's August when this documentation. So you're driving around 3 months and you can't pay the guy the money you owe? You know what, Missy? Pay the guy the money you owe him. $2,100 verdict for the plaintiff. On your counterclaim against him for the exact same reasons, zero. $2,100 for you and your court costs.
Thank you so much,
Okay, good luck to you.
So that's how this case goes down. It's an as-is sale, which we've seen in the People's Court many, many times. Did you realize what as-is meant?
No, not at the time.
Okay. What have you learned now from this whole experience?
Never buy a car that says as is or through friends.
Well, what about getting it looked at by a mechanic before you lay down your hard-earned cash?
He did have it looked at a mechanic, and they told me that it was fine.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're the buyer. The buyer should have it looked at, by someone on her side. All right. Okay, so good luck with the car, all right? You head right down there. All right, come on in here. Did you know that the car had all these problems?
I told her beforehand on the phone with my friend and everything, and she still decided to take the car, And they didn't want to take the Infiniti because it was not a manual car.
Yeah, I know.
And that's,
Mm-hmm.
So
what, do you have any...
No, I'm glad this is over with,
You don't feel for her?
I do not, because she obviously didn't feel the same way towards me, so.
Okay, Harvey?
Fact is, she deserves what she got. You should never buy a used car, I don't care how old it is, without checking it out with a mechanic before you plunk down cash.
This episode is brought to you by FX's Alien Earth, the official podcast. Each week, host Adam Rogers is joined by guests, including the show's creator, cast, and crew, in this exclusive companion podcast. They will explore story elements, deep dive into character motivations, and offer an episode-by-episode behind-the-scenes breakdown of each terrifying chapter in this new series. Search FX's Alien Earth wherever you listen to podcasts.